Solutions. I'm down here at Rifle Dynamics in Las Vegas taking their AK Armor / Operator class. This was day one. A lot of knowledge and a lot of, I wouldn't even say basic armor work, it was like advanced armor work. He had us ripping everything apart, but I wanted to take a few minutes and have Jim kind of explain it a little bit, and then I want to talk about a few things after that. So Jim, can you basically tell us what this weekend is about?
Well, the armor operational, it's really about where it's really beneficial is the guy who just wants to get into the AK for the first time. I mean, it's certainly good for a guy who knows the AK, but it's really a good benefit for the guy that's just getting into it for the first time. You got your first AK, you don't really know a whole lot about the manual of arms, how to clean it, how to maintain it, how to work on it. You can come in here, day one is just in the shop, working on the gun, learning how to completely disassemble it, bolt, trigger group, everything, completely down to nothing, down to the point where you need something to drill out rivets. We don't go that far.
Yeah.
You know, but it's pretty much stripped all the way down. You learn everything about the gun inside and out. And then day two, we spend the whole day on the range doing manual of arms stuff and, you know, getting a familiarization with how you operate the gun. And you know, and then we'll do range drills like, you know, from probably 5 out to 50 yards. Okay. We'll spend a couple hours in the morning just making sure everybody knows how to run the bolt right, how the proper ways to run the safety, the proper ways to hold everything. I mean, you have your own ways,
yeah.
You know, but there are certain ways these things need to be done. One of the biggest problems that people have in trying to run an AK is they try to run it like it's an M4. You know, and I'm not done. Everybody says, "Oh, you're just bagging on the M4s." No, I'm not. I like them. I have one myself, but they're two completely different guns, and they need to be ran that way. You know, the biggest complaints I have about people, with people bitching about the AK, well, you know, it's this, I can't make it do this, and I can't. It's because you're trying to make it do what an M4 does. It's not an M4. But you know, you spend a day on the range with us, you'll know how to run that gun and be comfortable and be happy with it, to where you don't feel like you're being shortchanged or you're out of the loop on it. You know, but the 2 days really does give you a good understanding and familiarization with the gun. I mean, we teach you enough that you'll never have to pay anybody to help you work on it. For the most part.
That's true. You know, and I don't mean to cut you off, but we actually had a guy in the class today that actually brought in a Wasser, Wasser 10, I believe, right?
Yeah.
That he brought into the class. It had a few problems with it, and Jim was actually able to show him and us how to fix some of those minor problems.
Yeah, it became a good teachable moment.
Yeah. So you don't have to come in with one of their production rifles to take this class. I will take a few minutes and say. I know Jim did a thing with Panteo Production and has his own DVD, the AK Armorer's Bench. You guys have heard me talk about it in the past. That is a great learning tool, but it is not a standalone tool. You really need to come and do some hands-on stuff that Jim talks about in these classes. I do recommend it for people who are thinking about wanting to come. Watch that, kind of do a little homework on it so you can kind of understand some of the concepts as they go through. Otherwise, you're kind of like a fish out of water. But at the same time, it doesn't matter because you don't have to come to this course knowing this to begin with. It does help, but you can come here with zero knowledge of how the AK works. As long as you come with an open mind and the ability to learn.
That's the key.
I took his build class last year, and I still learned stuff this year, a year later, after messing around with the AKs. Just in day one, I'm looking forward to day two. I've had a lot of people come into Ray's shop at Emerald Valley Armory ever since we did the AK build class, and like, oh, I wish I could do that. And you guys actually travel and do these courses.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, we well, I know we were talking about coming up to Oregon and doing one with you guys.
Yeah.
The builder course, it's a 3-day course, roughly 2.5 days, and then you end up with a gun when it's all done. And if you're a local resident there, Ray and Mike can transfer it right to you when you're done. Otherwise, it gets shipped to your FFL. We do it that way. We use serialized stuff. This is not a build party. It's a legitimate building of a rifle and learning how to manufacture it properly. And then we spend some time on the range running the guns and getting to know them a little bit in that class. And of course, the armor operator that we just talked about. But either one of them are good classes. Obviously one's a bit more involved than the other. But either one of them are good classes for entry into the AK world because you'll get a really good understanding of it inside and out from the very beginning and up. And in the 2-day armor operators, you get more time on the range, but in the other class, you get more time working on the gun. Because you're actually building it from scratch.
What is the participation level that you need student-wise in order to have a class hosted out of state?
Minimum 15 people for a build class.
Yeah. Okay, so you heard it here. if you guys are serious about all you guys that keep coming to the shop and posting stuff on Facebook and YouTube about wanting an AK armor operator class or a build class, then you need to start not just sending myself messages on Facebook, but Jim as well. We will be doing it in the Eugene, Oregon area next year, so that'll give you guys time enough to start saving up your pennies, which is well worth it. And you will have a great AK. It will not be the highly modified, production rifle. It is the standard 16-inch AK with the wood furniture, correct?
Yeah, we could do a 74 or a 47 too.
Okay.
Whatever people choose.
Right.
Because we're doing that now. We used to offer them just one or the other, but in a lot of the classes now we're offering a choice if you want to do a 47 or a 74. When we're planning on this heading this far ahead, we can make accommodations for that.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what you want, you can get it.
All right.
Emerald Valley Armory is bringing it to you, folks. Jump on it.
All right, Jim. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
brother.
appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, man.
I'm going to
Thank
start
you,
coming
Ray.
down here more often. Hope you guys like what you saw today. If you do, please like and subscribe to the page Single Hand Solutions on YouTube, as well as Single Hand Solutions on Facebook.
Amazing what this guy does with one hand. It's just, sorry.
He says that now, but wait till we get out on the range tomorrow and I start missing shit. So anyway, hope you guys have a good day, and remember, 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yes, sir.